We're here with Capstan here at Revolution in Amityville. How about you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about the band?
That sounds great.
I'm Anthony, I'm the vocalist.
I'm Andrew, and I play bass and sing.
I'm Harry, and I play guitar.
I'm Joe, and I also play guitar.
I'm Scott, I play drums.
So, when did this project begin, and how did you all guys meet to form Capstan?
Well, Capstan is a really long story. To make it short, Harry and Anthony met in Orlando, started demoing in 2012, basically found out that Anthony could sing. At the time, he was a drummer.
I was playing the drums, yeah.
And they found Harry knew Scott from playing in bands, some metal bands before then, and that was the basis of Capstan being formed. Okay. But the real true lineup didn't come together till 2015.
Okay.
When we basically found Joe to join on guitar. I had joined a year or two earlier, and so we've really been hitting our stride the last 2 years now. Yeah.
This is more of a curiosity question. Why did you guys name yourself Capstan? I looked it up because I just wanted to make sure that it didn't have a symbolistic meaning. But when I looked it up, it was pretty much spindle or cylinder that winds up a rope or twine, whatever it may be.
It does have a little bit, I think.
Anthony and Harry met in audio.
We met in audio school, and what a Capstan is in a 2-track recorder is it powers the tape head, so the tape spins, and it was mainly because of that.
It is where
we came up with the name.
Music.
Also, I guess originally Capstan was kind of just a recording project and nothing else, so it was.
It just fit well.
Was just audio, but then we also like to think about the term of a capstan on, say, an old wooden ship. Capstan is what you would tie the ropes of the mast to. In older days, it actually took 5 or 6 people to turn said mast together. So 5 or 6 people working together to give the ship its direction. So I like to think of it as it powers the music, it gives it direction.
We've kind of moved on to that definition as the...
That definitely has become the more modern definition.
To go along with a band name, you guys soon enough branded yourself with a pelican. So why did you choose that type of bird?
Oh, nice. Do you want to do it? Or
Boz, why don't you take this one?
Yeah, that's cool. So the pelican basically stemmed from us being in Florida. Very obviously surface level to begin with. It's a really interesting bird, though, when you take some time to do some research on it. Historically, and in ancient lore, the pelican has some pretty badass imagery. It was a bird of longevity. It was designed to fly long distances and survive its young by even piercing its own breast to feed its young its own blood, just to let its young live on. And because of this self-sacrifice, different types of religion and peoples actually worship the pelican. Not that we're into it anything like that, but so long story short, the pelican is really cool because it's about self-sacrifice and longevity,
altruism,
and altruism in its most basic sense.
So you guys are halfway through tour. What's it been like touring with Idola?
Oh my gosh, those guys are so awesome.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, looked up to
super
their
fun.
music. They're incredible. Got to meet new, genuine, cool people, and that's why we're in this in the first place.
Andreas, all the bands we're with.
Yeah, they're just wonderful.
Sometimes it's weird, being with these group of people that you don't immediately know off the bat,
and then you just become the best of friends.
Yeah,
throughout
now
the tour.
we're all pretty close, and so it's.
You feel a sense of camaraderie, and we're out here together, and that's really cool when it's not just the 6 of you in your party. You're 6 or 7 of us in our crew that we take on the road. It's nice to meet real, genuine people who are just like you.
We're out here trying to do the
different
same
places
thing.
and doing different things, but
Trying
still
to do the same
exact
thing.
mindset.
It's a nice common ground.
Any new tour stories for this recent run of shows?
Way too many.
Yeah.
Just way too
Highlight Harry got drunk and broke his glasses the second day of tour.
Harry got drunk and smashed his glasses the second day of tour.
So we were down a driver.
And Harry
On the
couldn't
West Coast.
see half the tour. It's just like kind of unfortunate. For me, I think it has to do. Our van has this awful leak in the roof.
Our
where
van's
it's
a little wet right now.
Yeah, let's just say where we're standing, because obviously this interview is just audio.
Yeah.
Where we're standing, it's very wet, as you can see. Well, it rained all last night, and we've had this tarp on our van. The tarp kind of we were trying to not have to do anymore.
Yeah.
So we got that flex tape stuff.
Oh, boy.
Like the Flex Seal guy.
Yeah.
And I did it, and we really went hard on it, and it just didn't work.
Don't buy flex tape. It is not as
Do not listen to the TV commercial.
And so we have a very wet van right now that we're trying to dry out.
Not good.
What are some of your most anticipated releases of 2018?
Frank Turner's new record that's coming out.
Frank Turner, I think everybody's excited to hear the new BTBAM.
BTBAM, yeah.
Yeah. How'd you guys forget the new single?
Condemned to the Gallows?
Yeah.
Or there might be I don't know if they released
the
another
one
one.
that we've heard for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, I like it a lot. It's
thought it
cool.
was great.
The music is always there with them. I'm trying to think, like, I am really looking forward to the new Wonder Years. I mean, obviously they have one single, but like I feel like for the Wonder Years, listening to the whole record is what tells the story. Anybody else at the top of my head? I feel like albums.
Dance Gavin Dance.
The new
Yeah,
Dance would be
cool.
incredible. There's a lot of bands that I feel like that I didn't know were working on a record, and then it's like, oh, they're coming out with a new record.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Exactly.
Which one of you guys is the DJ on the road in the van?
Oh, we all are.
Yeah, we all are.
We all have a hand in everything.
We actually have,
specific
like,
playlist for us to listen
Yeah,
to.
like we'll give it another shout out while we can. Like we all put a lot of work into our playlists. You can go on Spotify and you can actually like listen to monthly playlists that we've been making. So go check out our page on Spotify, and then you can find like month to month what we might be listening to. I don't know if we have the.
We don't have the joke one yet.
We don't have
the joke one.
We have a true
playlist,
joke.
We listen to a lot of
it's
goofy
not.
stuff on the road. We like to just have fun, and we'll, pump the Nickelback or whatever.
Yeah, Toby Keith, Nickelback, Dire Straits, like some really just
It's all over
totally
the
random
wax.
stuff that gets us going. But that'll be that one will be coming soon. So keep your eyes open for that playlist.
I wanted to bring this up. I just wanted to see your guys' opinion as it as a somewhat smaller band with Warped Tour for being its last year. So what are your thoughts on the festival, and do you think anything else is going to come after it?
We were just talking about that. I think Warped Tour had a really big part. It played a really big part in all of our lives growing up.
Big time.
And
that's what started me in the it kind of pulled me into the scene, realistically.
it's weird to think that it's going to be gone after this year.
Starting in music, my ultimate goal is to play it.
Yeah, and the fact that
just
we
from
get
going to it, and it's just
To be part of that last memorial.
To
goal.
be
part of that is
bucket
extremely
list.
it's a bucket list item for us personally and for our career. So I think the tour itself has meant a lot to me personally, because it was that one time a year during the summer I looked forward to where I saw a lot of my favorite bands all together at once. And you go there and it's just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be a part of. And the fact that that's actually going to be happening this year hasn't set in yet. It just hasn't set in.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for those announcements, everybody out there in radio land.
All right, so let's move into questions about your guys' latest release, In the Wake of Our Discord. What was the idea behind the artwork of the EP?
Oh, well, the artwork was kind of a continuation of Cultural Divide. We kind of tied these two records together, and so we wanted the art to reflect being a continuation of it, and also it's kind of like the end of, they both go together, but this is like the end of a cycle essentially, and we're gonna kind of move on with imagery and music as well.
Theme and things are, while we're always going to write about what we're going to write about, In the Wake of Our Discord, as Joe said, was definitely a continuation of Cultural Divide. So if you've heard one record or the other, or anybody out there that's heard neither,
They go
definitely
together.
kind of pick them up and listen to them both, because we take a lot of pride in having some commonalities and some very interesting
Musical themes and Easter eggs.
Easter
between the two
eggs
as
and
well.
such. So,
What was it like working with Seth Henderson on the CP?
dude, Seth.
It was amazing.
He's great. He's awesome to work with.
Sick,
He
yeah.
brings a lot of ideas and stuff to the table, production-wise, especially with vocals and things like that. He's got a great ear. So
Kind of a middleman
Seth's
too.
like-
We have some
Seth's like-
issues of if we want to do one thing or the other, we kind of look to him, and
Yeah, he
he'll
will
help
be
us
the
out
first to
making
tell
those
you.
types of decisions, big time.
I love
comfortable.
Yeah, very, very comfortable.
It's super comfortable. It's like Seth was the awesome uncle you've never had, like the really or the uncle that you wished like was your brother. The way that you encounter him and such. So it was really cool, man. He's an awesome guy and a great person to work with for sure.
They have such a good family structure.
Yeah, it's sick.
Did you guys change anything up production-wise on this release as compared to your earlier stuff? Whether is like you're writing differently or doing like the recording sessions differently?
I think we finally got our writing process down.
Yeah, but-
finally, it's unconventional, but it's
Well, as far as the recording process goes, though, having already done, we did Cultural Divide with Seth as well, and yeah, it was pretty much the same, only probably more efficient and more comfortable doing it the second time. But it was we knew what we were doing going into it, so.
So did you feel like there wasn't any really speed bumps on the on the way? Like there wasn't any trouble doing any parts or
I
like,
wasn't necessarily like trouble as much as we're a band that just I feel like always wants more time.
Yeah, we take a lot of time, and so actually with both EPs recording, that at the very end, it's been our. It was kind of habitual. We ran out of time both times, so we had to record a few parts in Florida and send them to finish them off. But it's just because our music ends up taking a long time to record with all the parts.
And we're just very particular. Yeah, like a lot of the intricacies that come together at the end, we like to come together in the studio, you know? So Joe's right. It's like, I feel like even if we ever booked enough time, we're still going to run out of time. It wouldn't be enough, like really, you know? So that's the only small thing, I think.
What are your personal favorite aspects of this release?
my
Personal.
personal is the piano.
Anthony likes
we all
piano.
just wanted piano.
Yeah, the
right?
piano that we put in, and I think that it's pretty cool that there's ties to Cultural Divide musically with that from in the wake of our Discord to Cultural Divide. I think that's really cool that we were able to do that. So
Yeah, I was just happy as well to kind of push a little bit more on the technical side than we did on Cultural Divide. Not a lot, but
Anything you guys want to experiment in the future that you didn't get to do on this release?
there's so much. There's so much.
yeah, one of the biggest
Yes.
things about us is that we have like a huge array of influences and things that we like in music, and you know, we've already kind of blended a couple different types of genres together with these releases, but we want to just do that more. So like being eclectic from song to song while still trying to maintain our sound, which is still like chorus driven music, but you know, having our influences from rock, metal, emo, post-hardcore, acoustic music, like different instrumentation, things like that.
Jazz.
Just like doing different stuff in all the songs.
Yeah, like really
And while
growing on
keeping
the
it-
sound that we're starting to find.
And
I
keeping
think.
it cohesive at the same time.
Yeah, it's challenging.
It can be
It's
challenging.
fun, and
It's
and I
fun,
like
yeah.
the. I
It's
always
very
like
gratifying.
the outcome.
Yeah.
It's great.
So when going to a song, how do you guys decide what the song's going to be about lyrically?
Harry, how about you speak up?
A lot of times, because I kind of help a lot with the themes and everything. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just put my headphones on and kind of pace around the room, playing the song over and over and over and over and over again until I kind of get this like image in my head, and then I kind of go from that. Other times I'll have like lyrics already, and just when I hear it, I'll just know. I'll be like, okay, this is going to fit.
fits in that part for
Like
sure.
it just like I'll play it and hear a chorus and I'll just like vibe it out, and it just kind of makes sense.
It's weird how Capstan works, though, in our creation process, from the sense that there's multiple people that work on multiple dynamics of the song creation, but that also, like, that's not just the music, it's not just the drums, not just the guitar, but it's also the themes, the lyrics, the melody. What you hear is a complete summation of us bouncing countless ideas and having countless arguments with each other about how we think a part should sound and feel. And what you get, we like to think, is something very special, because we don't know a lot of bands that do it like that. It's not one person really making the final decision. It's a democracy here, or somewhat of a democracy here. And that's why we think we come up with some very interesting stuff, and we're only growing in our ways to make things that much cooler moving forward, that much more unique, you know?
Well, I got some lyrical questions now. I picked a couple of lines from a couple of different songs, so give the people who listen to you kind of an idea what you guys were going for and what it means. So the first one's of a zero-sum game, and it goes, "We live in a world of underachievers, content with being comfortable and indirect yet never sober, and intellect suffering society's hangover."
That was you.
Yeah, and that's super interesting, though, because that is a combination of, like, me and Harry's lyrics right there. An intellect suffering society's hangover, to end that line, was actually Harry's, and we talk about how growing words and themes and melodies together, that part we both knew. We had parts written, and it just fit that song.
Well, I think he means like what it's more about.
So, mainly.
That works.
Everyone
works.
To me, it just kind of sums up how, like,
people will walk
the way media and everything is. It's dumbed everyone down, and instead of just kind of trying to work over it and be better, we just kind of numb ourselves and go with the day to day.
The point I was making was exactly that, is that song had kind of an established theme once we had already pieced some of the lyrics together, and those lyrics specifically were not the first. They kind of came together later on, but had been written much more in advance, and it really fit the overall theme of what we were going for in that song. Like Carrie talked about, using the imagery of addiction and your daily struggles, but also how, like Harry just talked about, is there's a constant dulling down of society, and maybe some of those issues contribute to that. And maybe if you can fix those issues, maybe you can start fixing some of the other more major issues as well.
So the next lyrical line's from Heartstrong, and it goes, "I find myself in what's been lost. As pages fold over, our youth becomes a fog."
That's
that's another one.
my friend.
That song's interesting because it does have a little bit of a different sound and a different feel than the rest of the record. That lyric specifically, just nostalgia. Just nostalgia as you think about it. And
you move into being an adult, and you think about those past times, and, like, I guess a way that I look at it, which I didn't write those lyrics, but it's almost like you will never have that innocence of being a child again, and, like, looking back on things that you've done, like, it moves so quickly, even though it doesn't feel like so in the moment, and then when you look back, it's just like, I did this, and it starts to get,
and you kind of lose track of what really happened, and you almost romanticize it in a way too, because you want to remember it a certain way. It gets foggy, like the words say, and it's really hard. It's increasingly harder to hang on to
your youth
and your youth in general.
So the last line is from Denouncement, and it goes, "The requiem played on, yet there was no one to dance, all mankind caught in a loveless romance."
Nice. H-ball.
It's just kind of how life just kind of dwells on, and, like, we all think about life. It's kind of a more depressing song, and realizing it's more about, like, finding yourself.
We're not special, and
no one's as special as they think they are, but yeah.
Brutal truth of reality. That's what it's all about.
So that's it for all my questions. How about you guys just share where people can find you online, social media, and keep up to date with you guys?
Nice.
Absolutely. We are across all digital platforms for our music. And you can keep up with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook
are the big ones that
those
we
are the big ones
use.
that we're normally on.
And then obviously all music on like YouTube, Spotify, Google, Amazon,
Apple Music,
Bandcamp.
Yeah,
we got it pretty much anywhere. And hashtag or not hashtag our follow Capstan_band on Instagram and on Twitter. And then you can find our Facebook. I think if you search Capstan, we come up, but you might have to type in like Capstan Florida, and then we'll come up.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining me, and good luck for your set in a little bit.
Oh man, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem.